The Blue Jewel.
Chapter 4. Part 4. The dinner was prepared by the Kendali roasting some ducks that the Denka had hunted. Vanus did not cook anything bad. In view of the circumstances, surely this skill had saved his life. In addition, the Denka had appropriated a number of bottles of wine belonging to the bandits. Incredibly, the half-orc also drank with them that night, so Arian decided to join too. What the heck? Last night she was about to be outraged by some ill-born. Who barely dined was the Kendali. Thanks to the wine of Gosberg, the climate relaxed a little and the Denka began to relate some of his many adventures. I was once tasked with stealing the great diamond that belonged to the great necromancer Aldomir. The Denka began to speak while taking a sip from a bottle. Agnorok raised his head. He knew that name. All the treasure hunters knew the legend of that necromancer by heart. He couldn't believe that the Denka had come to his fortress. Aldomir, as they say, he lives inside an impregnable fortress in the middle of the eternal snows. No one has ever managed to reach it. Added the half-orc. I found that damn fortress and stole the diamond from that damn tunant who uses black magic. I don't believe it. Arian didn't understand anything, although he was amused by the conversation. He didn't know who Aldomir was, and about necromancy he had only heard tales of witches to have a firmer opinion regarding wizards who play with death magic. Seriously, Agnorok, I stole it. It was relatively simple since the necromancer is not what he protects the most with his legions of undead servants. So what is it? Arian asked. Agnorok answered for the Denka. They say that he is the only being in all of Shanaris who has a resurrection scroll. He can bring back to life any being he wishes as long as he has the corpse in body present. The young woman shook her head. Magical scrolls that resurrected the dead, that undermined the natural design of the gods. That is, you could steal a scroll worth the gold of 1,000 kingdoms and you decided to steal a diamond. Commented Arian, amused. And I stole it, of that have no doubt. And what happened to the necromancer? The young woman was increasingly intrigued. I left him there in the middle of his ice palace throwing 1,000 curses at me, the very memo. And the diamond? Gosberg lowered his head with a slightly resigned expression. I lost it in a dice game against a troll. The young woman had a fit of laughter. It had been a long time since she heard something so funny, and the half-orc could not contain himself and began to laugh too. They were joined by the Denka while the Kendali watched them in silence. But, since you lost the diamond in a dice game against a troll, what's more, do trolls play dice? Arian added with a laugh. That story is much longer. Replied the Denka, laughing too. You're like a Gosberg goat, added the half-orc. Thus everyone forgot the fears of the attack of the bandits and slept peacefully. Agnorok woke up before dawn. Despite the laughter of the night, he could not forget what he had seen. For the gods who had abandoned them, what was Gosberg? Of course a simple mortal was not. A monster, a magical being. What suited the half-orc is that the Denka did not see him as a threat. Anyway, if Gosberg wanted to see him dead, he would already be, that's without a doubt. He would have to adapt to it and try that Gosberg did not kill him for revealing his secret. To calm down he decided to take a walk around. To his surprise he found after 10 minutes of walking a small pond of calm waters. It was not very big, about 6 meters, but enough to take a bath. The water was not very cold. He took off his clothes and sat down on a rock next to the pond and closed his eyes. It had been a long time since he meditated. Meditating was basic, with so much death and misfortune around him. If he did not do it on a regular basis he would end up going crazy. He had to put Gosberg out of his mind, and that terrible massacre. The images of the bandits dying and screaming flooded his head, but little by little they disappeared and the void came. It was then, when calm had already arrived, the figure of Arian appeared. The half-orc wondered the reason for that image. he did not want to investigate the truth further. He was afraid of the answer, without a doubt. He opened his eyes. Another day would continue. With determination he threw himself into the cold water and began to splash for a while. The truth was good. I had needed a good bath for a long time. Arian woke up. Gosberg snored, clutching a bottle of wine. Vanus slept like a cat, made a ball, but the half-orc was missing. Arian was still intrigued by what had happened to the bandits, and the only one she could ask was Agnorok, so she decided to go in search of them. It was not difficult for him to find him. He was in the middle of the water, splashing, like a small child, swimming naked. The young woman had initially decided to leave there, but curiosity got the better of her, since her brother had never seen a naked man. Agnorok's physique was impressive. He was full of scars, huge muscles, and defined as marble. He also sported a tattoo on his back. It was a simple design, a large circle with 3 smaller circles inside, forming an equilateral triangle located on the right side of his back. The half-orc sat up and she could see his full figure from behind. You can see if you want the other part, although maybe you would be disappointed.